In the midst of matchmaking controversies and lack of a future roadmap for Destiny, Bungie has revealed that President Harold Ryan has stepped down from the company. Ryan was president since 2000, and no reason for his departure was given. COO Pete Parsons, who has been with the company since 2002, is being nominated as CEO, while the studio states that, "We remain committed to creating great experiences in Destiny." Parsons said that, "I want you to know that my #1 priority and Bungie's is and always has been to deliver great games that we can all share together. I believe that Destiny is a one-of-a-kind experience. I also believe you have to see our studio's best work. My new role here at the studio will be entirely focused on fulfilling that promise." Harold Ryan joins the likes of Joe Staten and Marty O'Donnell, who also left the studio when it moved from Halo to Destiny. Electronic Arts will be doing things a bit different this year. Instead of heading to E3 2016, it will host gameplay events in London and LA prior to E3 2016, which will feature demos, competitions, special guests, and much more. Live streams for new games and other behind-the-scenes media will also be showcased. Dubbed EA Play, a representative from the company stated that, "We are taking our commitment to put our players first further this year by creating a play experience built around them. Hosting our own event allows us to connect directly with our players and create a meaningful experience for them. In Los Angeles, our players will have access to the games on Monday. We will open up the event to the industry on Tuesday, allowing those who are in town for E3 to see our games and join the experience. We'll unveil more in the months ahead about the games." Ever since Fallout 4 first launched, there has been quite a bit of talk about what to expect when it comes to mods for the game. The fact that the console versions of the game were going to be allowing mods at all was pretty big news, and considering what we've seen from the PC version, those mods are going to make the game quite interesting. However, Bethesda haven't managed to get players a real timeline on when the mods are going to be coming to the PS4 or Xbox One. Pete Hines recently took to Twitter to answer a couple of questions about when the mods were coming, and while he didn't shed a ton of new information, the fact that he's still talking at all could be good news for those who have been waiting somewhat patiently. Hines also stated that he will be sharing new information when it becomes available. Hines is also asked by someone who bought the Season Pass when they can expect the first piece of DLC. On this piece of information, Hines said there wasn't yet an official release date. On both issues, the Bethesda execs said that they will be providing dates when they are actually available. That means for now we'll just have to impatiently wait for these additions to Fallout 4. In the last couple of weeks, we've been getting quite a bit more information about Final Fantasy XV. Now lead game designer Takezawa Masashi shed some more light on what you're going to find in the game in the title's official forums when it comes to the difficulty levels. Masashi says there may not be actual difficulty levels, but there will be the ability to switch between different modes. Players will be able to switch between strategic combat system and a more slow burn kind of fighting style. Lead game designer Takezawa Masashi revealed there will be aerial battles in the game. The ability to use multiple warp points in a strategic manner is especially prevalent in the game's large-scale battles over urban terrain. It is not just the buildings though, and we have also created exciting aerial battles with flying foes and gigantic boss enemies, so watch out for those. Meanwhile, Final Fantasy XV lead planner Ishikawa Tomonori talked about the size of the maps that are going to be available to explore and the size of the towns that are going to be in the game. "I can tell everyone a little bit about Altissia at this time. Altissia has many and varied locations, such as multiple cafes, shipborne marketplaces and parks, etc. The city is of a considerable scale, to the extent that even the developers sometimes get lost there." Former Microsoft employee James Allard, who oversaw the company's entry into the video game console business with the Xbox, recently had a chat with Now Gamer, an interview originally published in Games TM magazine, about his experience while working with the Redmond-based software giant. The 7th generation of consoles war was not only about which company can offer better games, but it was also an important period for the entertainment industry as a whole. Microsoft were pushing the HD DVD format, whereas Sony was on the Blu-ray side. Allard recalls the incident and believes it was stupid that they focused so much of their time and money in pushing a media format instead of focusing on online services. This also meant that the team got distracted from their core beliefs. There were definitely factions within the team that did worry more about the competition, and we spent a stupid amount of time on stuff like HD DVD in response to the competition that just distracted us from our core beliefs. A new format for high-resolution movies was not important to us. Leading the charge in online gaming was, and the HD DVD effort was a good example of how worrying about the competition can take you off your game, he added. Well, at least Microsoft fixed their mistake with the Xbox One. The Coalition's Gears of War 4 is a way off, but a fair amount of work is going into it. According to former designer Cliff Bleszinski, who is now working on Lawbreakers with his own company Boss Key Productions, fans will be pleased with some of the writing going into the game. Bleszinski offered this information on Twitter when he stated that, "Just got off the phone with a friend who is doing some writing on the next Gears game. Sounds like we will all be very pleased with it." Although he hasn't had any creative input on the 4th game, Bleszinski has added that Coalition head Rod Ferguson will likely want to implement his own unique vision. "I'm available, although I think Rod kinda wants to own it as his new visionary." Gears of War 4 is currently stated to release in Q4 2016 for the Xbox One. It seems like the Brazilian ratings board for games agrees. They've rated Quantum Break on PC. A rating is not an official announcement, but it almost always precedes one. Very rarely has a game been leaked via a ratings board and then not turned out to be legitimate. So yeah, Quantum Break may be coming to PC after all. As of right now, it's slated to release exclusively on Xbox One in April. After its recent financial report, Electronic Arts spoke to investors in a post-release call. It confirmed that a new Titanfall was indeed on the way, and that progress has been fantastic thus far. There's no release date yet, unfortunately. EA stated that, in Q1, we'll begin with the creative and innovative Mirror's Edge Catalyst from DICE launching in May. A great lineup of EA Sports titles are in development for next year, and we look forward to sharing more about these new experiences in the months ahead. An all-new Battlefield game from DICE will arrive in time for the holidays. We're excited to have a new Titanfall experience coming from our friends at Respawn, and of course, Mass Effect Andromeda from the team at BioWare will launch later in the fiscal year.
If you like what we're doing, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. See you soon!